Shalom, 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 shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to Kohalayim La YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAH. Double honors to the elders, to the apostles that taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim, across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. We say shalom to the Akim. Aqua out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to the truth. To you, I say shalom. It's the brother YAHAWASHI, and I'm coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit, through the power of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. This lesson is inspired through the Spirit. It's like a testimony. It's kind of comical. I was listening to the elder, bro. I said I wasn't gonna call out names and cities and whatnot. But I was going to use titles, because brothers take time and energy to come up with a title. I can take great pride, well, not to say pride, but take their time to actually come up with meaningful topics, or titles rather. So I believe it's titled something like the Lord has a great sense of humor. So I was listening to that video while I was at work yesterday, right? And I'm at work, and the elder bro was like, pretty much, he called himself, he the mechanic of the camp. I believe a lot of camps had those. The camp I was in, we had a few brothers that was handy with their hands, because men get shit done, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm gonna be honest, brothers used to look at me funny, but the thing is this, like, I ain't up in age, I still can get around and shit. I might surprise Jake, you know what I mean? But I'm lazy to a degree because, I done did backbreaker work and all that shit, I still do. You know what I mean? So, like, I work at a spot, I'm doing manual fucking physical labor. So that should even give you more reason to do it. But if I don't have to do it or I can afford to do it, I'll spend, Jake like Jordans, you know what I mean? And they'll spend, I might consider that unnecessary money, especially when you ain't got it and you depend on other people to help you, but you paying $300 for some Jordans. I might say that's futile or frivolous or any, some goofy shit, that's foolish. But if Jake like what they like, I myself, if I can afford to pay, to get somebody to do something, as opposed to me having to do it, especially if I'm blessing a brother, some brothers, they might need a couple dollars or whatnot, so I'll look out for a brother. Long story short, I'm just ranting. But the elder was talking about how he the mechanic in the cab, so boom, he like, one of the elder brothers, their vehicles down, they needed such and such part. So he like, well, they trying to find it, a part that's reasonable and, yada, yada, yada. He say he went and, guess the elder bro, he need, ride to camp now that his car down. So the elder like, well, so, he ain't had no problem with it. He, the elder thanking him, he appreciative. That's another thing too, Jake take certain things. That's just my opinion, you know what I mean? Maybe it was just me, I don't know. Jake might tend to think that I'm oversensitive than when I'm told I'm not sensitive enough. So it's like, I don't know. Anyhow, with all that being said, he say, so he go pick up the bro, and on his way to go pick up the bro, because I could see it in my mind, because the Lord be doing things like this. So I had to smile when he said it, right? He like, so on his way to go get the bro, he to check the tires, the air of the tires, filled up the tank. So he on his way to go get the elder, because the elder stayed like 30 minutes from him or from the camper or something like that. So he on the way to go get him, he said on the way to get him, he said the RPMs is revving up. He like, damn, you know what I mean? So he pulled over, he said, Lord and behold, only God knows, only Yahweh knows. He say, tell me why his training went up. So I was like, damn. So all I could do was think in my head like, damn, you know what I mean? But then at the same time, he said all he could do was laugh. So I smiled, but in my spirit, I just knew, I'm like, if he's just even hearing this, something gonna happen to my car, right? So tell me why yesterday. I had somebody helping me out with some shit, and I could have spent them and whatnot. But when you do good things, the Lord said that, that's in the scriptures, it's better to give than receive, And you got some very giving brothers, I'm gonna just put it like that, I ain't gonna say who ain't giving or none of that shit. Like the Lord know. I would just say you do really have some And that's another thing and an aspect I miss as far as being far or apart from brothers. But anyhow, at the end of the day, I say something gonna happen to my car. So I call myself, try to go look out for this person because they looked out for me just the day before. So boom, on my way. And I never paid attention to it before, but I see my battery light going off. So I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Nah, it's just instinctively I knew it was the alternator. You know what I mean? But it don't necessarily have to be. But 9 times out of 10, once you done had a car, you should like start learning the signs of what's wrong with the car. You know. Anyway, so boom, you got certain signs where all the lights are turned on. Like I had that happen in one of my trucks, in the truck I had. Boom. So I literally go holler at the person. Boom. I'm leaving. Some tell me to leave now, right? So I leave, and on my way, I'm right on the street where my street at. My car died. So I gotta push the bitch. You know what I mean? Push the bitch to the street. You know, motherfucker ride past, just look at me. And that's another thing. I was like, damn, you know, Mr. Bros, you know what I'm saying? Not just for just what the brothers could do, but you know, I miss the brothers just conversation, to be honest. But at the same time, I know this will of the Lord too. But saying all that to say this, you know, when Jake be down, you know, Jake can come through. I've seen a lot of brothers do that, you know. That's, I mean, again, 2 is better than 1. So anyhow, I pushed the car down and do boom. So then I called my mechanic. Brother even blessed me with the mechanic that I use to this today. So it was warm like all week, but I'm like, watch it be cold and rain and some shit. So I look at the weather, I talk to him. He automatically had in his mind he was gonna come look out. So boom, he called to me this morning. So I'm looking at the weather and it's like it might stop for a couple hours. It's like 40 degrees. So I'm like, oh shit. He like, so he hoping that it's gonna work out like that. And long story short, I didn't have the money, you know, I had to pay my rent. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to like finagle and make sure I can pay my rent. Cause like I say again, I've only worked 3 days this week. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I only worked 3 days this week. It was just, it was tight. It was real tight, right? So look, boom. And to show you how spiritual it was too, like literally, boom. So like I say, so my mechanic come, boom, he take off the part, you know what I'm saying? Just so happened somebody that I just met, you know, nigga woman too. Satan probably, you know, they say that they show you, you know, your representative, you know what I'm saying? My demon got me like that. My demon came with sweets. Bitch got me. My dumb ass, that bitch was hell on wheels and on feet. Anyhow, Salaki. Saying all to say this, you know, motherfucker blessed me because I didn't think I would have the money. Because I'm like, I gotta pay the rent tomorrow. It's tomorrow the 1st. Boom. Just so happened, oh girl, she gave me the money, boom. I'm like, hey, boom, I got you next week. But shit, I had just looked out for her yesterday. Long story short, boom. You know, just so happened, I'm looking to see how much I gotta get to put with the rent, and my check hit early. But it's more than enough to take care of what I needed. So, boom. It just was like, it was like real beautiful. Like the part, you know, cause a brand new part, I didn't have the money for that, you know. And then I got an older car, like at least like 26 years old. So to find one, like I called one spot, they like, well, you know, he gonna call me back. Motherfucker never even called back. I called another spot and they got it. And then he was just saying like, you know, that part, you know, they, you know, everybody ain't got it. But I just found this out. I didn't know junkyards could look in each junkyard system. Now, I'm sure like a place like Pull Apart would have had it. But I've worked on cars, you know what I mean? Like I've had cars when I was younger. My stepdad and we was changing transmission lines and all kind of shit. But you know what I mean? But I've done all kind of welding and construction and all kind of shit where I be on some lazy shit, I ain't gonna lie, which I got to get out of the habit of, and I'm about to try to do that. You know, that's in my mind's eye. You know, I'm going to try, because shit about to get real. So you better get real with it. But the whole point of the lesson is, you know, how the Lord will chastise you and take you through things. And it's his will, you know what I mean? And like the elder brother said, he said, when you take time to really look at the scriptures, the Lord took me and the Lord through some shit. Look at the example, our big brother, YAHAWASHI, who you English call Jesus Christ. Look at Elijah. Look at these men. Elijah literally went through some shit. He was homeless. And just literally waiting on the Lord to tell him what to do. You know what I mean? Look at the apostles in the book of Acts. So, it was actually comforting to hear that brother's testimony, although the brother catching hell, but, he said he take it cheerfully because the scriptures tell you that. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that. Say, whatever brought upon you, take cheerfully. I should have put it on, no, do not disturb. Bear with me for a second. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, of the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1, and it reads, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." Yeah. So prepare yourself to be tempted, meaning being tried. To go through different trials and tribulations. And that's ultimately to try you, to test you, and to refine you. You know what I mean? Like the Lord, I forgot who I was just listening to talking about pretty much, there was the elders. The elders is going into, you want to be made hard. You know what I mean? And the elder made a statement. He said he think he institutionalized. The elder funny though. He said, I'm so used to it now. He said, I think I kind of used to it. He said, I'm kind of institutionalized. Catching the hell. You know what I mean? It don't seem normal when you ain't, and that's what we all striving for. Like I said again, you supposed to. If you enjoying this or loving your life, don't get me wrong, the Lord gives us reprieves. So, some brothers got families, good women, hobbies or certain pastime, but for the most part, brothers hate this place, you know what I mean? Because think about it, how the world's supposed to actually be going, and you're looking at the way the world is. I was telling my daughters that. I'm like, at the end of the day, think about it, you got to worry about men. If men gonna like boys and girls, you know what I mean? You got to worry about shit. I got to worry about shit like that for you. That's why again, I constantly tell my daughters I don't see them getting no dude because like I said, first of all, I want to give them away, but look at these weird ass niggas. That's why it was good to be around the brothers. Because, a lot of brothers had sons, and I got daughters. So my mindset was automatically, I didn't have to worry about finding them a decent Jake because it's going to be with one of the brothers' kids, you know what I mean? That arranged marriage, that's how I was thinking about it. But, hopefully this the year though, oh my God, what the fuck is this goofy ass bitch doing? She looked crazy. Her shit was blind with Salakia. Verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make not haste in the time of trouble. Sometimes I was listening to a few brothers speaking on sometimes you got to just sit and suffer it patiently, which, is truth to that, and nobody really likes to suffer, but then you got to man up sometimes. That's what it is. Me, myself, again, if you really, anything a brother do, you're supposed to be able to forgive, because if that's really truly a brother. But at the same time, it is this goofy ass bitch. And then looking at me stupid though. I should cuss this little funny face Salakia. Cause it's why are you speeding through the motherfucker though? You in the area where, and then now you want to slow down though. This shit crazy. Salakia. I don't even know. You know me, I be raw with it. You know what I mean? I ain't sugarcoating it and none of that. I'll be raw with it, you know what I mean? I'm not going to sugarcoat, it came out that way, that's what it is. Salakia. But anyhow, if a brother offends you, you're supposed to be able to come to that brother and tell that brother, what he did, and y'all should be able to come to some kind of compromise because, again, if y'all brothers and love one another, But I was sitting back and I've been meditating on my current situation, and I'm like, at the end of the day, I believe this is the will of YAHAWASHI. Too much stuff has happened since then, and even to this day, like I've seen Jake out and about, and the last brother I seen, I wanted to speak, but I believe in messages on the comment board, and Jake up there, they even responded. So it's like, damn, what do I do? But I got no ill will to no brother. I pray that they ain't got no ill will to me. You know what's so crazy about it? I just did a video on the topic, and the elder just did a video on the topic, and another elder just did a video on the topic. So I'll be recognizing the spirit still just dealing, just like with the car situation, And the Lord actually had it set up automatically for the car to be able to get fixed. This the one few time I ain't bitch about it, I ain't cry. Oh shit, I ain't do none of that, and everything just worked out so smoothly. I'm like, damn, call Loyam like YAHAWASHI. Verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away. That's spiritual. That thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Because once you sitting up there and like these different little trials and tribulations that the Lord take us through is to build our faith and confidence. Again, I always know the Lord gonna come through. That's why when I did what I did, I already had it in my mind, I'm not offended at the truth because or this ain't the truth no more because that happened. We in the flesh. You know how much fucked up shit I've done? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it is what it is, and I don't say, again, that's the cold part about it. I can go through all this and still not be worthy. We all are the hopeful elect. But at the same time, I was listening to something the elder said. He said, it's only, I believe certain men just got to be the men that got to have a seat on the chariot. You know what I mean? Like certain, like the endurance that the elders had or have, Salakia, to put that much stuff, like they gotta have a seat, like they got to, I question myself, but as far as if I got one, but you gotta, at the same time, your faith and your works will show, you know what I mean? Verse 4, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. And again, I never bitch this time, and I'll be crybabying. Because it'd be like the Lord don't be letting up sometimes. But at the same time, I haven't as of lately. Now that I think about it, I've had some rough calls. I mean, rent, short on the rent. So I didn't have it. But the Lord has had it some kind of, he's had something there that I didn't really, just wasn't like ass out like oh shit, it's over with. It's always been something there to help me. If it was a silver coin to, like I said, now you got this old girl, you know what I mean? Which I hate that I had to borrow it from her, but she was so adamant on like, oh, I got you. But I do be doing a little shit, but I'm looking at it like just, I wasn't thinking about, like what I was doing, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't, normally like in the world, when I would do something, it'd be a chess move. If I gave a bitch this, it's because I'm trying to get your card later. So, you know what I mean? Like and with that, I wasn't plotting on doing nothing. So for her to just, be like, I got you, and then come to find out, I didn't really need the money because my check was more than what I thought because some kind of way we got holiday pay. And I'm a temp, but some kind of way it's holiday pay on there. And I'm like, because I'm looking at my thing and I'm like, well, damn, I got way more than enough. How the fuck that didn't even happen? So I looked at the stub and it's like, holiday pay. And I'm like, well, damn, you know what I mean? So that was a blessing. Call Loyam like YAHAWASHI. So, everything ain't the end of the world because we ain't seen, you ain't seen that's why, like, a lot of times I was listening to the elder made a video. He said sometimes we need to fix it ourselves. And at first I couldn't get it, but I kind of got it. You know what I mean? Like, I try to save up my prayers up in heaven. And I know the Lord wants you praying for him, but I'm praying to him. But what I mean by that is I know shit gonna be like just ridiculously crazy and chaotic out here. So for the most part, like, yeah, I pray before I go to bed. I pray for my kids. I pray for the brothers. And I pray that the Lord bring a swift end to this place. But as far as things I need, I tend not to, you know what I mean? Like, I'll just suffer it. I don't think, like, oh, you know what I mean? Because I know I'm going to need the Lord in that day. I remember a brother telling me that. He'll bless a brother with something. And I remember he blessed me with certain things sometimes. And I'd be like, well, here. He'd be like, don't worry about it. I know I'm going to need you, one day. And he would always say it like that. And that always been in the back of my mind. That's the spirit said, do not use this grace period. So, say, take it cheerfully. And I smiled, you know what I mean? Because like I said, the coincidences of that happening for the elder do a video about his car being messed up, and then just soon as I heard, I'm like, watch the Lord go do something on my car. And then my car to go out, I said, damn, that's also a sign that the Lord's still dealing. Call Loyam La YAHAWASHI Al-Shah. Call Haloyam La YAHAWASHI Al-Shah. Call Haloyam La YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI BAHASHAM Rachak Kodash Barakatham. Yahweh meaning he is, he exists, or he to be. BAHASHAM, Baz in, Haz, Hashem his name. YAHAWASHI meaning he saves or he delivered. So said take it patiently, when you change to a lower state. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. And he's going to take all his men, if you are of his, through adversity. And our big brother, the example, or ensample, YAHAWASHI Mashiach, who people ignorantly call Jesus Christ, is, he went through the most adversity that you could think of, to have that much power and to be that humble. When you really, and I've been in the spirit of lately trying to read, said I was going to go over the Gospels, so maybe that's what I'm going to go over with my children. We was in the book of Judith, but verse 6, believe in him and he will help thee, order thy way aright and trust in him. And that's the spirit. Like I said, again, this time I ain't trip on nothing or nothing. And it was like the Lord had everything set up. I had no idea this extra money. You know what I mean? You know how difficult it is to find a part for a car as old as mine and not have to call all day. On New Year's Eve, it was raining and about to snow. It's supposed to snow tomorrow. So I just knew, and my mechanic, he an older Jake, so he ain't smoking crack like I need to get out there and get that. But you know what I mean? He literally, he turned down jobs sometimes. He has done it to me. So for him to do it, it was just like the Lord had everything set up. And how beautiful it was. Your pa. This is the book of Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 5. Let's Salaki. I'm going to start verse 5. And ye have forgotten the exoneration which speaketh unto you as unto children, my son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. So when the Lord judging you, don't, you have had men fall out the truth because of what they going through in the truth. The Lord might, I know a lot of brothers, they got a testament about how the Lord took their woman from them. That's one of the first things he did. And I couldn't understand what was going on because we both was into the scriptures. We both love to read. So to be finding out your heritage and, I'm like, okay, we're going to learn the Hebrew together. And she was just like rejecting it. And it was just crazy. But I realized, the Lord didn't want her. And then the cold part, I fucked up my life. Well, not really, because the Lord been with me even through doing dumb decisions and whatnot. At the end of the day, I took myself through things I didn't have to, thinking, because I'm breaking my neck trying to be a father, being in my children's life, when maybe the Lord, I've watched brothers have to lead their kids, or, like I watched some things in here. I watched a brother that was really close to his child. Basically, the Lord took the child away for maybe that brother's preservation as well. But if it's the will, I watched the elder in Chicago where, his child was taken away, and then now the Lord brought the child back around in his life. And the Lord know what we love and what we need, but he also know what we'll put before him. Or, he know what he's doing. So, like I said, I made a statement on the video. I said, I've did so much time trying to do what I wanted, doing my will, and not following just exactly what the Lord wants. I'm just trying to do what the Lord wants because, I bump my head, what I mean? Fuck, no, and I just trying to make sure I'm doing exactly what the Lord wants. And I believe that's what the Lord wanted. Because I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, I can get over somebody saying something. I told you I don't really care about what somebody's saying. But at the same time, it made me just think like, well, damn, you know what I mean? Damn, like, do you think that little of me, but you ain't got nothing to say about, you know what I mean? I ain't left a motherfucker yet, you know what I mean? I ain't never ran, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck you talking about? I took the ass whooping, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, and I ain't too big to say I ain't never got whooped before. I've won some, I've lost some, but the smart man know when to not even having to fight. You ain't gotta, it's times where you got to, and it's times you don't have to, you know what I mean? And all that come with wisdom, and experience and shit. But it's more beyond that, because I was just realizing what I kept on saying. I kept on saying, the ministry got to be blameless. The ministry got to be blameless. I'm like, well, damn, why am I saying that? And I'm thinking about it now. You know, it's not just coincidental with that. Like, after I left the brothers, you know, I was on that app, and it's just too much little stuff. Like, I know it's something else going on beyond just, you know, so, you know, and I see the Lord still dealing. So, Lord willingly, the Lord continue to deal, you know. And again, if I'm of his elect, no matter, you know, what it be, it's gonna still, you know, shit, I didn't leave and it slowed down. I left and shit picked up. You know what I mean? You know, that's why I was like, God damn. Like I said, I'm not saying this because of me. What I'm saying is, I'm grateful the Lord did, because you know how many men I watched leave and nothing took place immediately? So they probably went back in the world. I don't even know. You know? Verse 6, for whom the Lord YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHUSHA loveth, he chastiseth, or chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. You know, because he disciplines you. You know, I had a father, I was raised by a man, and that's probably why they be like, I'm a little bit too strict or too mean to my daughter. But I know what my daughters was capable of. Everybody got something to fucking say. My daughter's lying to me. Fuck. You know what I mean? But you got, oh, you should, like, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even understand. No, you used to look on the outside looking in on something and got an opinion on, you know, what killed me is a individual that got an opinion on something they ain't even dealing with nothing in that lane. A motherfucker telling you how to be the best parent. You ain't got nan kid. You know what I mean? Like, that's a motherfucker that ain't never seen 100,000 but gonna tell you how to be a millionaire. Like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, opinion is like an asshole. Sometimes your opinion can take to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Salakia, because, you know, I'll be thinking, I mean, like, yeah, Jake might be on a certain thing, but we ain't none of us experienced every fucking thing. We ain't even experienced the truth on the death yet. You know what I mean? That's in the scripture. You ain't cut all the holy hell, but it's coming. You know, and the thing is, you don't know what type of man you are until you go through the situation. You know, that's what was in the Vikings. That's one thing I liked about what's his name? Jorn Ironside or whatever, the oldest son of Ragnar Lothbrok. Ragnar oldest son, his first son, by what's her, Lagatha. Because basically he went to his father and was like, pretty much, I want to go out on my own. And his father let him do it because he wanted to test himself. And I think that's when he went out there and killed the bear. You don't know what you're capable of until you actually succeed at it. You might think that's just like a motherfucker that boxes. Everybody just learn boxing training doesn't mean that they're going to be good. You know what I'm saying? I remember my dad, my stepfather is a boxer. Well, he was a boxer, you know what I mean? And the cold part about how the Lord played him, the night that he got actually picked up, he was going pro, he got in a car accident the night, you know, like he found out he was going pro, he went and got drunk and literally got into a car accident. So, you know what I mean? Like the Lord cold. But my father and him didn't like each other. He used to hang with this guy named Shotgun that's supposed to have been a boxer. But long story short, my father like that garbage. My father funny. The garbage my father said. But my point being, you know, yeah, you might be better than the person that don't have no skill at all. They ain't got no training. But everybody's not built the same, or you know what I mean? Like, you know. I mean, I naturally was athletic, but you know, my father wouldn't even put us in boxing, me and my brother. You know, and I wondered why. I'm like, why would you let him? You know, which is weird, but you know, but we was naturally athletic, but my father was athletic, and I would see my father showing you how you could be deceived by your own eyes. I'm seeing my father, and I'm seeing who he is in my mind. Come to find out, I would never hold a candle to my father. You know what I mean? And wouldn't want to. But, you know, my brothers would tell me stories about how he'd be in the projects and playing football and, you know what I mean, take the ball and throw the ball to the end of the fucking field. So, Salakia, you know, memory lane, I don't know why. It says, verse 7. Maybe because I'm speaking about, you know, being scourged by your father. My father didn't bullshit around to play. I was just listening to the elder say that. You know what I mean? Until I got to a certain age, you know what I mean? I must have been the one that took him and gave him a run for his money because, you know, I was the headache. I'm getting that back through my daughters. You know what I mean? It'd have been easier to have a boy or one girl, but to have these 3 girls, and they cute. But that's the danger in that. They have your ass looking stupid. They have you looking stupid. Have you wrapped around their finger. Like, talk about like, Powerpuff Girls with the venom in them. Verse 7. If ye endure chastening, if ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chastiseth not? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. And that's why Jake made the statement about being kind of worried when the Most High ain't like when if you ain't catching no hell, because it's like the scripture just said, if you're not catching no hell, then is the Lord dealing? And that's the thing. The Lord gives you a little and takes away, because the Lord is a balance. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 11 verse 1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. But a just weight is his delight. This is the book of Job chapter 2 and verse 10. But I'm going to start at verse 9. Show you how the wickedness of a woman. Job 2 and 9. Then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse the Most High and die. And this demon knew that how serious that was to curse the Most High, especially back then. I mean, now it's serious, but especially back then. You probably said a curse and you died instantly. So just imagine, what I mean, her telling him that. And Job thought he had a good woman. But, again, I keep that in my mind, I mean, as of recently, like right now, the Lord, I'm questioning like why the Lord, well, not really. The thing is, I chose to do a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? Like I ain't no, like wet behind the ears type individual. I chose to do certain things because I see how Satan fuck with me. He go through my kids or go through the woman I'm messing with. You know what I mean? Like, it's easier just to rent it. You know what I mean? In my mind, you know what I mean? Or abstain from it, But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. I know this much. Women, it tells you that in the book of Job, what's that, 37 or 39? He have deprived her of wisdom. I told you, I was talking to this one chick, she up there like, yeah, get your passport. I'm thinking to myself, bitch, I ain't getting no passport for what? You sit up here really thinking life about to get harder in 2025. But let her believe what she want, you know what I'm saying? Why am I keep on making this so hard? You know how difficult it is to try to do all this and stay afloat in the truth and all that when, you know what I mean? Like, nah. So yeah, I'm about to start taking advantage just like women do. But I'm not, like I said again, our hearts is to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What shall we receive? What shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips. So you got to take this like a man. Scriptures tell you, gird up thy loins like a man, I remember one of the brothers was talking about that, The Lord takes you through different trials and tribulations to try you because, his men, and as men, I was listening to this podcast, just a snippet of it, I think it was a short, and dude was going into how, he go to work, and, he fighting the demons in the streets and at the job and all that shit. And then when he come back home, he puts on a persona as if like everything is good and he's just happy dad. I don't necessarily do that, but that's strength within itself. And the Lord wants us to take this chastisement like that too. Because you got to think about it. Literally, we all deserve this. We all went off. That's why when it happened with the camp, what kind of hurt me was the fact that, like I said, I seen personally when certain brothers wasn't supposed to be being spoken to and Jake was speaking to him. You know what I mean? So when nobody reached out or when I reached out and nobody said nothing, even after the fact that all this came out and nobody just like, I'm excommunicated, I'm like, damn, that kind of hurt. But at the same time, again, I believe through the Spirit is for a purpose. Because everything is for a purpose. The scriptures, book of Romans chapter 8, verse 28 says all things work to the good for those that love him. So I'm about to end it with this because I've been rambling. I'll probably say various topics or something. But You know, at the end of the day, that testimony just made me know. Like a brother worded one of his titles to his lesson. He said, "The Lord got us." And you know, with everything that took place, it looked at what's the word? It looked at it looked at like it wasn't no hope. It looked at fucked up, but in actuality, it wasn't fucked up. Everything worked out exactly. I was able to pay the rent. I got a couple dollars left over. I'm gonna be able to get gas. Everything worked to the good. Call lawyer YAHAWASHI. And it made me think of this, and I'm gonna end it with this. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 28, and the point is verse 20. Teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you, and lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Amen. And you got to keep that in mind. No matter how bleak, that's the word. Call lawyer YAHAWASHI. No matter how bleak the situation look, the Lord is with his elect. So with that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call lawyer YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone who do teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim, across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua. I thought they're listening and learning. Lord willingly, this was edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time, Lord willingly, shalom, shalom, Kwam Yasharallah, and Mawat Lababal, and Salakia. And I pray that brother, you know, two brothers that, you know, vehicles, they trucks and vehicles went out with the transmissions. I pray Yahweh, Shem Yahshua, you know, preserve them and put them together with that shalom, shalom, Kwam Yasharallah, Mawat Lababal.